Let's take a closer look at some of these games. I really want to look over this box art some, and just the packaging, I think, is a big part of the charm of these Avalon Hill games. So let's get a little closer. Currently got the back up on the ones I was showing off earlier, so still very simple, and you're probably going to find that with a lot of text-based games. For example, every child's favorite, Stocks and Bonds. You've got real similar packaging. This is 1982, a couple years later. So I think just sort of it's indicative of the era. I'm a big fan of everything from the fonts to the colors that were used at the time. But we'll take a look at these three here. So baseball, I'm curious to see how that pans out. Looks like another text-based game. But then got a little action sequence with computer football. So that was for the Atari. Could be interesting, could be good. I don't know. And then Breakthrough looks like an interesting game. I wanted to point out this guy. The TDP S100. I will actually have to look up. I'm not sure what that is. That's my ignorance showing. But Breakthrough is interesting. Actually, all three of these are interesting because they are Sports Illustrated editions. I'm not sure how many of those were made, but that's fun. And you kind of see how we went through different phases of boxes here. Got a 2600 cartridge for comparison. So at some point they went to a more standard sized box, but I don't know, were these made in tandem? I'm curious. It's Commodore 64 one here. And I do enjoy the cover to Alien, that's fun. It's an Apple II disc game, so of course you gotta have color. So I'm interested in playing that one. And let's take a broader look, perhaps. Let's try that. So it's gotta have some kind of tank game. Shrink wrap is almost coming off. We have Fortress of the Witch King. It's interesting. I thought this was a good example because made for two different systems here, the Apple II and the Commodore 64. They actually have what appear to be actual screenshots from each system. I don't know, I'm just enjoying that because it's sort of a rarity at the time. They would have some generic box and then slap a sticker on for whatever system they were programming for. So I think that speaks to what Avalon Hill was doing in terms of producing high quality packaging. At least they had this industry of making board games, a couple new ones a year at least, I think. So they already had this system for making boxes, printing stuff. And yeah, they took the time to make individual boxes for everything. That's pretty cool. And I'll take a closer look at this game, Flying Ace. Could be interesting. Not sure what Guns of Fort Defiance is about. Andromeda Quest. Do enjoy that cover. Got a little radar there or something. Might have to check that out. So, yeah, these just scream late 70s, early 80s style. This is 1984, though, actually, so I'm getting into the 80s here. And this is one of the ones I'm more interested in playing. So, I don't know, decent-looking role-playing game, perhaps? I'm not sure. We'll have to find that out. And this one I find interesting because, we'll talk more about this later, I happen to run into its board game counterpart. So that's a good example of how they were using their board game properties to transition into the video game market. Okay, well, this is a heck of a cover. Soak in what's happening here. Getting stabbed in the neck. Who isn't getting stabbed or stabbing or throttling someone? What's happening down here? So that is one heck of a cover. One heck of a cover. Legionnaire. And this one is interesting. Same game, two different covers. Empire of the Overmind. And, you know, while we're talking about this, there is a review I want to take a look at. So that is a text-based game. Let's see if we can't look at the computer. And it was reviewed in The Space Gamer, issue number 49. Let's skip ahead. We want page 36, technically. So the review, I'll cut to the chase, is not favorable. And it gives you a little bit of a sense. I'll read some of it. And actually does go through some good things. It talks about how it's not a game where you die all the time. But despite this, the program is so poorly conceived that it is difficult to believe that a company with AH's reputation would publish it. The screen format is poor. The vocabulary of the program is extremely small. The adventures seem designed to throw you into situations that are impossible to escape except by exiting the adventure, and the speed of the program is nothing short of atrocious. In closing, the price of this primitive program, one could buy 2.5 Scott Adams all-text adventures or one full-color graphics adventure from Online. I believe that's Sierra Online. Not recommended. Okay, well, Bill didn't enjoy this one, but I'm a dude in 2021 playing text games, so primitive is relative at this point to me. So I'm still looking forward to checking this out. I enjoy the fantasy covers. The illustration on this is fun, but this is too. So I don't know at what point. I assume this is the newer one, but yeah, an interesting re-release perhaps. I think this is a cassette. No, this is Apple II diskette. Okay, don't think that has anything to do with it, but a couple interesting examples of a text adventure. I'm trying to remember what this involves. Something about a computer taking over a castle. I can't remember. I shouldn't guess. Okay. So let's take a look at a couple more. Lords of Karma is one that looks pretty interesting to me. So, no text adventure, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just sold on the cover. That's probably half of it with these things. Got VC. Not sure what that's about exactly. Panzer's East tank game. Kind of like the art on that one. Air traffic controller. And so here's an art choice. What is happening there? What is this game? All right, well, if that's what you were guessing, kudos. Wow. Well, I'm intrigued, I guess. I should check that one out. And that's a heck of a cover. Let's look at this thing. Oh, my lord. Oh, what is not to love? The font. These outfits. Oh, that ship. Oh, my. Oh, my. What is happening here? Okay. All right. Well, last few I'll show real quick. I've got the arcade packs. So that's 1, what is that, 2 and 5. I believe by law in the 80s you were required to make a poker game. So got to have that. Looks interesting though. I mean, not a bad job, right? I have seen worse, that is for sure. And this one, this does look interesting. I don't know what that is. Maybe a pseudo 3D shooter. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. And then we have Tank Arcade. That looks like it could be fun. Maybe a little bit of a combat clone or something? I don't know. Let's see, in this one, you got the VIC-20 and some TSR-80 models. Well, goodness, I have to see that one to believe it. All right, well, yeah, I'm curious actually how, even on the cassette, how these different versions might manifest themselves. So I'm definitely going to have to sit down and play with some of these. I think the last thing I'm going to show you here, Voyager 1 seemed pretty interesting. It's kind of some comic book style box art going. I find that interesting. For the PC, so I think this is 1982, so yeah, I don't know, one of the earliest certainly for the PC. It does look like some, I don't know if you want to call it a dungeon crawler, but some sort of map down there and some sort of first-person view, so I don't know, pretty interesting. Looking forward to checking that one out. 1982. Pretty cool. Well, next time around, I think we're going to have to open up some of these, and I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to take some shrink wrap off of one of these. Let's check it out.